Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here on Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and then I could send videos like this to your inbox as soon as tomorrow morning. If you like this watch, you can buy it on thewatchbox.com. Buy, trade, and sell luxury watches 24 hours a day and globally on thewatchbox.com. Today we're discussing the Tudor Heritage Black Bay, the 79220R. This is the ETA-powered Black Bay as it originally bowed to great fanfare at Bezel World 2012 and was discontinued at the tail end of 2015 to make room for the in-house caliber 5602. But the watch has a handsome dial aesthetic that is still unique to these earlier watches, having been supplanted by a later dial design for the in-house profiles. And all Black Bays feature a charming vintage-inspired profile, although they are modern in size. It's 41 millimeters across the round of the case from 9 to 3. That's not including the sleeved crown assembly. And the timepiece is actually slimmer than you might expect at 12.6 millimeters. These are a little bit thinner than the Tudor in-house caliber Black Bays. Lug-to-lug, it's 50 millimeters, so it wears easily on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference, in my opinion. That's generally what I say. If you have a smaller male wrist, 14 to 16.5 centimeters circumference, you want a watch that is 50 millimeters lug-to-lug or fewer, and this fits the bill. The lug spacing is 22 millimeters, so if you wish to accessorize, you will have a bevy of Tudor replacement strap options as well as aftermarket options in the 22 millimeter standard size. The strap is a Tudor unit, even though it has the look of a rusticated aftermarket job. Supple, suede on the bottom, and a wonderful rusticated profile calfskin on the top with a light contrasting stitch and a untreated shear cut flank that shows you the layers of construction with a wonderful profile stitching as it abuts the lugs. Make no mistake, it still uses spring bars. You'll also note that the case profile is deep and the case flank is sheer, so it appears more massive than it is. It's only as thick as a sub in this ETA-powered variant. There is a lovely bevel profile to the flank of the lugs, transitioning from the sheer of the flanks to the satin finished hoods, and then you'll note there is a vertical striation or a vertical satin finish between the lugs on both sides to better resist the occasional rubbing of straps should you fit a larger, thicker unit. Now you'll note that the strap is joined to a Tudor folding clasp with a clamshell lock. Note the modern Tudor shield is the profile of the locking mechanism, because the Tudor rose, as seen on the crown and on the dial, is the only other logo on the watch, so the only time you'll see the modern Tudor shield logo is actually the profile of the clasp itself. You open this beautiful flush fit clamshell, which contrasts nicely with the satin finish of the exterior of the clasp. Inside, high polish, nicely made, feels very solid, and you'll even note there are spring-loaded ceramic pin snaps to maintain the tolerances of the clasp long term. Thoughtfully and impressively designed. The case is simple, but I do want to emphasize that vintage Tudor Rose logo. This is the Tudor Submariner logo that you would have seen on 1968 and prior. Later, the shield would take over as the Tudor logo. On the in-house caliber Black Bays, you'll see both the rose and the shield. On pre-in-house, you're just going to see the rose on the dial and the crown. There is a lot to love about this bezel. First, the micro knurling that Tudor uses is a little bit easier to grip than its big brother brand Rolex, and maybe we just call them cousins at this point, because Tudor no longer feels like a junior brand in image or in quality. It's a wonderful profile to grip. You can easily manipulate this crown even if your gloved hands are wet or your bare hands are sweaty. Line up the pearl with the minute hand. Now you've got an impromptu 0 to 60 minute timer. It is an anodized aluminum insert on this watch, beautifully red to cue against the rose gold hands and the gilt golden style chapter ring of the dial. Applied golden plated indices, very upscale, decidedly more deluxe than a vintage watch. Even the luminescent pearl in the bezel is capped by a sapphire shield, so the specification in detail, very impressive. The dial, meters first, please note, for you vintage aficionados, as well as notation of rotor self-winding, a little bit of an anachronism in terminology. The chapter ring is handsome and the indices are large, so you get the best of both worlds. This is an easy one to read. The only quirky thing about this dial is that it features the later snowflake profile seconds and hour hands. An odd pairing with a no crown guard, gilt chapter ring, rose dial, Tudor timepiece, but all the same, the watch is best taken as a homage to the entire range of vintage Tudor timepieces rather than any one model. It's simply a love letter to old Tudor divers, not from any given era. That said, the matte base is wonderfully consistent with the best of Tudor past practice as it resolutely resists glare inside the case, and you can see there's not a whole lot to see on the case back. This is the only other occurrence of the Tudor shield, but underneath an ETA 28242, 38 hours, automatic winding with bidirectional action. It does feature hacking seconds, 25 joule movement, beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and thanks to the screw-down crown and the meters first notation, you can be assured of 200-meter water resistance, so throw this one on a water-resistant band and you are good to go. You can see and you can purchase this now discontinued Tudor Heritage Black Bay 79220 with ETA base caliber on our website. And we're back with the Tudor Heritage Black Bay 79220R. As you can see, the vintage theme stops when the lights go out. Now you have a fully luminescent dial, robustly lumed, as you can see, great and green with an easy legible luminescent pearl on the bezel. So you're ready to line that up with the minute hand and start your dive timing. Or, if you're simply playing hide and seek or enjoying a nighttime jog, you can quickly and easily register the time elapsed. See it by the light of day on the watch box.